This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this afternoon, heavy security at Kaduna State High Court as El Zakzaki trial resumes. Emoha local government chairman says calm has returned to Umudioga community. Protest over back portion of Eleme axis of East-West Road enters day 3. On the foreign scene, German drug maker BioNTech to develop first malaria vaccine. In business, experts react to CBN stopping sale forex to BDCs as cost of forex in black market spikes. I am Ifiemi Andrew. There's heavy security presence at the Kaduna State High Court as the court prepares to deliver judgment on the no-case submission filed by the embattled leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, IMN, Ibrahim El Zakzaki. The case is presided over by Justice Gideon Kurada. El Zakzaki and his wife Zinat Ibrahim are standing trial in the court for the past 4 years on an 8-count of alleged culpable homicide, disruption of public peace, and unlawful assembly, among others leveled against them by the Kaduna State government. They were brought to court on Wednesday morning by officials of the Nigerian Correctional Service amidst tight security. Governor Bello Matawali of Zamfara State has attributed the escalation of banditry and kidnapping in the state to unresolved lingering conflict between herders and farmers by past administrations. Matawali said that the failure of some states in the northwest region to enter into dialogue with the bandits has further led to the degeneration of the menace. Speaking at a security conference in Kaduna State, the governor identified the killing of a prominent Fulani leader in Dansadao as another factor responsible for the escalation of banditry in the state, saying that followers of the Fulani leader are attacking perceived killers of their leader to avenge his death. The Kaduna State government says it is working with the Nasarawa State government and security agencies from the two states to rescue the paramount ruler of Jaba Jaba, Chief Dam Get Moade, who was kidnapped by gunmen in Nasarawa on Monday. The 83-year-old monarch was abducted by bandits suspected to be kidnappers while on his farm located at Gitata community of Nasarawa State, which shares a boundary with Jaba in Kaduna State. 6 armed men were on Monday night killed when police and unknown gunmen engaged in a gun battle in Omuma Town, Oru East local government area of Imo State. The divisional police officer of Omuma Police Division, CSP Fatman Doyo, was killed in the attack. The police spokesperson for the state, Michael Abatam, confirmed the incident. Omuma is the hometown of Governor Hope Uzodinma. The chairman of Emoha local government area, Chidi Lloyd, says security personnel deployed to Umudioga community have brought the situation under control. Dr. Lloyd, in an interview with correspondent Mega Otuka, said after the killing of the commander of the disbanded OSPAC, Alexander Umeruike, yesterday by gunmen, some hoodlums in the community took advantage of the situation and started burning houses. He said his administration will ensure that those involved in such act are brought to justice. Dr. Chidi Lloyd appealed to the people of Emoha local government area to maintain peace to attract development. Meanwhile, earlier, an indigene of Umudioga community in Emoha local government area said there is massive destruction of property following the killing of the commander of the local security outfit, OSPAC. The indigene told our correspondent that there was no presence of security operatives in the community and the hoodlums are carrying out attacks unhindered. He didn't explain if the killing of the OSPAC commander is court-related, but called on relevant security agencies to deploy their men to the area to restore peace.
I'm not in the community as we speak, but the information available to me is that there is massive destruction of properties. People's houses are being burnt as we speak now. There is massive destruction of properties in the community as we speak. Houses are being burnt. There is no security as we speak now. No security. And the people that are perpetrating this thing are going unhindered.
The police is yet to comment on this. Still ahead, protest over back portion of Eleme axis of East-West Road enters day 3. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
A stakeholder in Eleme community, Israel Gumba Abe, says the ongoing protest at the bad portion of the Eleme axis of the East-West Road will continue until relevant authorities mobilize contractors to begin work on the road. He said this while speaking as a guest on the Morning Crossfire.
Protest is designed or conceived to last for as long as it takes the federal government or those in authority to see the simple reason of fixing that important road to the economy of our dear nation. The government and those in authority will come and give us we want a positive action on ways that will soon be matched with action. Until we see signs of that, we have no intention of leaving the road.
Reacting to the allegations that some of the protesters have been extorting tanker drivers, Mr. Abe had this to say.
Yesterday, one of the drivers came and said he was from Ifiemi and that he has not taken his bed since he was stopped there. And one of the youth leaders dipped his hand into the pocket and gave him some amount of money and asked him to find his way to the workplace and take care of himself. I'm not aware of any other person who was either extorted or in their need of money to get to his back home or to his destination. That was not attended to.
As the protest over the bad state of the Eleme Road enters its third day, IPMAN chairman in the state, Dr. Joseph Obele, says the government should urgently attend to the demands of the protesters so trucks carrying petroleum products can be allowed to pass. In an interview with Nigeria Info, Mr. Obele said the continuous closure of the road could lead to scarcity of petroleum products.
Considering the economic impact of the road in question, we critical stakeholders of the oil and gas sector hereby call on relevant bodies in charge of the construction of the road to, in a no distant time, commence construction or respond to the yearning of the protesters, as the protesters are insisting that until they see men and machine aside regarding the construction, they will never vacate the state road. More days without loading of petroleum products is a negative economic signal. I think you understand the implication of that. Urgent attention should be given to the East-West Road, Eleme Road, so that the protesters will vacate the road for loading of petroleum products.
Meanwhile, some drivers of heavy-duty trucks accused some of the protesters of extorting money from them. Drivers told our correspondent that the protest is justified, but some of the protesters are using the opportunity to commit crime.
The protest, whether they protest now for our own good and for their own good too. But now the way when they call they use and they intimidate person. Yesterday now most of us now they call even they use wood, they beat person. They even break some people glass.
Yesterday night, 7 guys come here and they collect some of our phone and money. Don't like that one, but the other one protest on that load construction. We like that one, it's okay for us. Let them put the load in order.
They destroy my tire. And yesterday night, we reach here at the beginning, they collect 1,000 naira. They beat us. Nobody sleep. I don't support. Let them come do this and go. I'm not government. Let government do their road.
It's not be say we there against the protest. But what we there against? Now the tire where be say they're less. They're not less than normal. They come, they command the valve, they throw away the valve. That one are wickedness. Because not be we be the government. All of us now they suffer for the road.
As you may know, the protesters, who are mainly made up of youths from Eleme and Ogoni communities, have said they will not leave the road until construction work begins. Away from that, a business consultant, Bismarck Riwani, says that the move by the CBN to stop the sale of forex to Bureau de Change operators is in the right direction following the current economic situation of the country. Speaking on a television interview, he said the BDC operators were beginning to act beyond their scope.
In 2000, we had 74 BDC operators. By 2010, from 74, we had 2,000 operators. By 2020, they had gone up to 5,000. In the last quarter, the federal government of Nigeria spent, in other words, the central bank, spent more on travel, actually $472 million, than debt service, $173 million. No country in the world can survive that kind of hemorrhage. So rightfully, the central bank had to take steps. Some have argued that, after all, they were licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria in the first place. But that's water under the bridge. The reality is that what was happening was blatant daylight robbery.
Mr. Riwani analyzed the impact the steps taken by the CBN and what it would cost the system.
So what steps to be taken? Step number one is to stop everything as they are, so which is administrative controls. But the problem is that the moment you stop things administratively, you now create a further black market premium. So people are going to be inconvenienced. The central bank says go to the banks. Yes, I agree with the central bank governor. But you and I know that walking into a bank and coming out within 5 minutes, it's easier to put 50 flies in a matchbox than to go into a bank and come out in 5 minutes, right? So anything that is cumbersome, that's inconvenient, will push people further away from the system. So people would suffer.
He also suggested some steps that should be taken by the CBN to manage the situation.
The ultimate solution, and I recommend, is that, look, we know the power market rate every day. So it's 505 today, maybe 500 naira. The central bank should encourage people to go to the banks, one, but should sell to the bureau de changes at the power market rate less 5%. In other words, if power market is 500, sell to the bureau de changes at 490. The 10 naira margin is way, way lower than the 100 naira margin. So the central bank was spending $100 million a week, $440 million a month, and $5 billion a year for travels when there was COVID restrictions. By the time you pay for your COVID test here, pay there, come back, and the cost is immense. This was not tenable one and was not sustainable.
Meanwhile, the Bureau de Change operator in Port Harcourt tells Nigeria Info that $1 is now sold for over 520 naira.
Everything on the highway, they go high. Dollar you go the 523, pounds 710 naira, euro 615 naira, 617 naira. Even know why they talk to you now. I don't know how to mean how we go high.
In business, Bitcoin increased above $40,000 for the first time in nearly 6 weeks. The cryptocurrency traded above the key level briefly, reaching $40,242. Bitcoin last traded above the $40,000 level on June 16. In entertainment, American socialite Paris Hilton has debunked reports that she's pregnant with her first child. Page 6 had earlier reported that she was expecting a child with her fiancé Carter Room, as they have openly talked about starting a family together. In sports, former President Barack Obama has joined NBA Africa as a minority owner and strategic partner. NBA Africa has backed a new Pan-African Basketball League, which held its inaugural season in May with 12 teams from 12 African countries. It has also launched programs aimed at improving the livelihoods of young Africans while raising awareness on gender-based violence and promoting girl education.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
German drug maker BioNTech plans to develop its first malaria vaccine and begin clinical trials by next year. The ambitious turnaround time is thanks to the mRNA technology used to develop the Pfizer and Moderna coronavirus vaccines in under a year. The only approved malaria vaccine, Mosquirix, took scientists more than 30 years to develop. Malaria kills more than 400,000 people annually in sub-Saharan Africa. On the news this afternoon, you heard that heavy security is currently at the Kaduna State High Court as El Zakzaki's trial resumes. Emowa local government chairman has said that calm has returned to Omudioga community after the killing of OSPAC leader. The protest over a back portion of element axis of the East-West Road has entered its third day. On the foreign scene, you heard that German drug maker BioNTech has said it will develop its first malaria vaccine. In business, we told you that experts reacted to the CBN stopping the sale of Forex to BDCs as the cost of Forex in black market spikes, with $1 now being sold for over 520 naira. The news was edited by Enoho Ogbevere. Contact our newsroom at 0818-900-0017. Partly sunny weather expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time, and bye-bye for now.